The church was silent, the air thick with anticipation, when the doors swung open. Heads turned, whispers spread like wildfire, and then, Tasha stepped inside. Dressed in black, her eyes locked on the man standing at the altar, the father of her child, the love of her life who had abandoned them both. She wasn't here to crash the wedding. She was here to make him pay. Tasha stood outside the grand church, her heart pounding in her chest. She clutched a small black purse, but inside it wasn't makeup or tissues, it was a loaded Glock 19. She hadn't planned on bringing it, but rage had guided her every step. Her ex-boyfriend, Jamal, was getting married today. And he hadn't just moved on, he had erased her and their son, Malachi, from his life. Jamal had once promised her the world. They had been high school sweethearts, inseparable for years. When she got pregnant, he had seemed excited at first, but as the months passed, he drifted away. By the time Malachi was born, Jamal was nothing more than a ghost, no visits, no calls, no support. And now, he was standing at the altar with another woman, a woman who got the fairy tale wedding Tasha had dreamed of. Dressed in a simple black dress, she blended in among the wedding guests. Nobody had noticed her slip into the church and take a seat at the back. She watched in silence as the vows were exchanged, her hands trembling. The priest asked the fateful question, "Does anyone here have any reason why these two should not be joined in holy matrimony?" Tasha stood. Gasps echoed through the church. Jamal's face went pale when he saw her. His bride, a stunning woman in a pearl-white gown, clutched his hand tighter. "Jamal," Tasha's voice shook, "how dare you stand here acting like you ain't got a child out there? Like I don't exist." Murmurs spread through the pews. Jamal cleared his throat, forcing a smile. "Tasha, this isn't the time. This isn't the time." Her voice cracked. "Malachi asks about you every night. And what do I tell him? That his daddy's too busy playing house with another woman." "Tasha, please leave," he whispered through clenched teeth. "No." She reached into her purse. And the church erupted in screams. The sound of the first gunshot sent a shockwave through the church. Jamal's bride let out a blood-curdling scream as he stumbled backward, clutching his shoulder. Tasha's breath came in ragged gasps, her hands trembling as she fired again. The second shot hit Jamal in the stomach, and he collapsed to his knees. "Mommy!" A small voice cried from the back of the church. Tasha froze. Malachi. Somewhere in the chaos, her sister had arrived with her son, likely hoping Tasha would see reason. But now, standing in the middle of a ruined wedding, a smoking gun in her hand, she knew there was no turning back. The third shot rang out. Jamal slumped to the floor, his once white tuxedo now stained crimson. Tasha's world blurred. People were screaming, guests were rushing to Jamal's side, and the sound of approaching sirens filled the air. She turned on her heel and ran. Bursting out of the church doors, she tore through the parking lot. Her car was parked just down the block, the engine still warm. She had planned for this moment, but nothing could have prepared her for the guilt clawing at her chest. She had done it. She had shot the man she once loved. But had she killed him? Her fingers fumbled with the car keys. Just as she yanked the door open, a voice stopped her. "Mommy." Malachi stood a few feet away, tears streaming down his little face. Tasha hesitated, her heart breaking as she looked at her son. "Baby, she started, but she didn't know what to say. She turned toward her car, but blue and red lights painted the street. The cops were here." Tasha backed away, her gun slipping from her fingers onto the pavement. Officers flooded the area, shouting commands she barely heard. "Hands up." On the ground, her legs gave out, and she sank to her knees, lifting her hands. As she was cuffed, her gaze never left Malachi. "Mommy loves you," she whispered as they dragged her away. Weeks passed. Jamal survived. The bullets hadn't been fatal, but they had changed his life forever. His bride left him, unable to bear the weight of the drama. The wedding that should have been the happiest day of his life had turned into a nightmare. Tasha sat in a cold jail cell, awaiting trial. The world had painted her as a bitter, jealous woman, but she knew the truth. She had never wanted to hurt Jamal. She just wanted him to see the child he had abandoned. But now, she had lost everything. Her lawyer told her she could be facing life in prison. As she stared at the concrete walls, only one thought plagued her mind. Was it worth it? And deep down, she already knew the answer.